Welcome to Devine Dinners Simply. My name is Vernon, amateur chef. When I retired 6 years ago, I took up cooking as a hobby and to get me out of the house. This is Hugh Gadsby from Glasgow, Scotland, apprenticed at the age of 15 to a master chef in Glasgow, and he's been in the business 35 years. And today's dinner, like all other dinners, is a three-course meal. For the starter today, we have clams and mussels in a white wine sauce. That is followed by our main course, which is red snapper, which is going to be served on a bed of wilted spinach, and again, a little white wine and lemon. For dessert, we have cherries jubilee. Now, this is a fantastic meal. This is an ooh-ah meal. How many people have served a dinner like this in their home? Not too many. The cherries jubilee is only found in fancy restaurants. Most people are scared of making it. It's got to be the simplest dessert you've ever made. Now, the whole theme of this are ingredients that are readily available in your local supermarket, or in this case, your fishmonger. They're few ingredients, readily available, simply prepared, and the secret, Hugh, in getting this dinner ready when your guests arrive so nobody has ulcers is what?
The secret, Vern, is organization.
Our motto is OPA, organization, preparation, and assembly. You've seen the organization, now we have the preparation. Long before the guests arrive, the morning of the dinner, what we are going to do is prepare the things that can be done ahead of time. We will need fresh tomatoes, green beans, yellow, red, and orange peppers, Yukon Gold potatoes, and fresh spinach. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the tomato concasse, and to do that,
It's like what you do is you take the eye out of the tomato, which is the top part, just put a cross on the bottom, slip it into boiling water for about a minute, minute and a half, and
then it peels. Now, what does concasse mean? We're going to have tomatoes,
well,
concasse.
Concasse is large parts like this, and you'll see how it looks in the.
We're using
a
tomato concasse in the clam starter, and the reason why we're doing it is partly for flavor, but mostly for color. It's mostly done for color. I think we're ready, Hugh?
Yeah, you just take that out.
Plunge it in cold water.
Plunge it in cold water. Is there an echo in here, Vern?
There's an echo in here. And Hugh is now peeling a tomato.
You see how fast it peels?
It does.
Comes right off like that, you see?
And now for the concasse part.
You cut it in half and you take a melon baller and you take the seeds out.
You don't want seeds floating around in your clam dish. We just want the color of the tomatoes. We just want this. We don't want the bitter peel. We don't want the seeds. We just want the tomato color. So he's doing that. Pretty easy, isn't it? And then it's chop, chop. There we are. He rarely cuts his finger, but sometimes he does. Okay, that's done. Out of the way. Out of sight, out of mind. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to blanch the green beans, which are going to be served as a vegetable with the red snapper. And to do that, we put them in the steamer. And what do you say about?
About 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Not 5 minutes, not 3 minutes,
Now
4
the
minutes.
julienne of peppers, I've got an assortment of peppers here. I've got an orange pepper, yellow pepper, and a green pepper, or a red pepper. And if you see the color there, it's going to look.
What's julienne mean?
Julienne means sliced thinly.
Thusly.
This.
Okay. Next.
Parisian potatoes.
Parisian potatoes.
Parisian potatoes.
For the uninitiated,
just
those
like
are
this.
potato balls. Okay?
A melon baller, and if you press fairly heavily, and they just pop out like that.
Great.
And
that's pretty simple.
It is.
Even I maybe I could.
Well,
what are you going to do with all those potatoes? That seems like an awful waste. What's left over here.
Well, you can, you know, for dinner the next night, you can have mashed potatoes.
Even garlic mashed potatoes, maybe.
Garlic mashed potatoes.
Oh, God.
So,
I'm glad you didn't use too big a pot.
well, there's no point in
No, wasting
and
pots.
wasting, you know, having a large pot.
Yeah,
A little
right.
bit of salt in the potatoes.
Okay, and the spinach, the last item is, well, we've taken this fresh spinach, trimmed it, washed it. Now, washing spinach looks like an onerous task. Just fill a sink full of water, put the spinach after you trim it, and gravity works. Spinach floats, dirt sinks, swirl it around, and dry it off in a salad spinner.
And a salad spinner, yeah.
And that's it. And all we got to do now is wait for this to boil and blanch it. Blanching.
Blanching.
That's what we're, well, here the beans got to be done now.
Yes, they're finished.
Look at the beautiful color that's achieved by steaming them. I'll turn the burner off here. Plunging them into cold water, draining them first, and then plunging them into cold water to retard the cooking. And after they're done, what do we do with them, Hugh?
Well, we're going to put them in a bowl, Vern. We just got to let them cool down a little bit.
Okay.
Beautiful. See the color?
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. And they're cooked with the they're finished off with the veggies, right?
Yeah,
So we
you
put
can
them on top.
You can put these together.
Perfect. And that's the way they're going to be served on the plate together as sort of a medley of vegetables. Do you like that word, medley, Hugh?
Medley, yeah.
Medley. That's what it
Medley's
is. Okay. We've all finished the prep. So we just have to wait till about 45 minutes for the guests arrive, and then we start the final assembly, and we'll show you how to do that, and we'll start off, of course, with the clams. All right, the guests have arrived. You've had your aperitif. It's now time for the starter. And the starter is clams and mussels, going to be prepared in a white wine sauce with tomato concasse, which we've gone over before, with a little chopped cilantro, 8 parsley sprigs, the juice of 1 lemon, and some chopped garlic and some chopped shallots, all done in butter. Now, cilantro. This is cilantro in its native form, and it looks a bit like Italian parsley, but it has a very neat, unique bite flavor to it. It's quite a definite taste, so don't use too much of it. Now, Hugh, I guess it's time to start. First of all, let's talk about clams and mussels.
Well, we'll just get the pan going here. You explain about the beard.
Yeah, well, first of all, mussels tend to have a little beard on them. I don't know if you can see that up close. And you should take that off because it doesn't look very good when you prepare them. The next thing to look for in clams and mussels is to make sure you get fresh clams and mussels from a reputable fishmonger or supermarket. Do not buy clams and mussels from the back of a pickup truck by the side of the road. You will be disappointed.
You have to make sure that they're not open
Exactly.
when you buy them. Now, when you get them home after 2 or 3 hours in the fridge, the odd one will open.
And that's okay.
But once you rinse them in the sink, it's like you might find the odd one with sand in it.
Yeah, it's funny. You find a whole clam, looks beautiful, but it has sand. The whole thing is packed with sand. And the way to check that is just rub them between your thumb and forefinger, and the ones with sand will pop open. You don't want a bunch of sand in your dinner. At least I don't. Okay, have you debearded all the mussels?
Yes, they're all cleaned. We just used that one as an example. These are PEI mussels.
Oh, yes.
And they're very nice.
They're beautiful.
Very nice. So we start off with the pan and some butter, about 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter. And
Get them all hot.
you get that hot.
What we're doing here is sweating. Sweating is the term.
Sweating your shallots.
Sweating the shallots and the garlic.
And the garlic,
And don't burn it.
about a good tablespoon of garlic.
People often say, well, what do you do, Vernon, when you burn the garlic? You know what I tell them? To start over again. That's the only way out. Okay, so that's done.
That's done. And you throw the clams and mussels in.
That's going to take, what, 6, 7 minutes?
Yeah, 6 or 7 minutes.
Okay. When does the wine go in?
Well, you just let that sweat a little bit, and the wine can go in. Like
Now for people who, again, people are worried about alcohol content in meals, don't worry about it because the alcohol content in this wine is long gone. And a little lemon juice now.
A little lemon juice, yep.
And the cilantro. Now the tomato concasse goes in just before you're ready to take the clams out and plate them. Because remember, the tomatoes are there really for color. Put a little cover on it maybe?
Yep, put the cover on and we bring that to the boil.
And steam them for 6-7 minutes. At least 6, but don't overcook them. You'll be able to tell when they're open, when they're cooked, because they'll be open. If they're not open, there's something wrong with them, or if all of them aren't open, they're not cooked enough.
That's one of the secrets. You don't eat the ones that are unopened.
That's right, exactly. In fact, you don't serve them. If you could avoid
Well,
it. Yeah, if you could
the
avoid
odd
it.
one might end up on the plate, right?
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do about that.
Hopefully, it's one of the guest plates.
Yeah. So this is going to take about another 5 minutes or so.
Hugh, I think the clams are done.
Well, let's see.
They're all
you're
open.
right, Vern.
They're open.
Wow, look at that, eh?
Are you going to put a little pepper on them now?
Yeah, I'm going to put a little white pepper just to finish them off.
And we throw the tomato concasse in just
When I
to,
throw the tomato concasse
just to warm it
in.
up.
Yeah.
We're not really cooking it, we're just adding it for color.
We'll take this over here and we'll just take some of these out too.
We're going to plate them now. And what we do is we divide the clams and mussels up more or less evenly in the 4 plates. And then what we'll do is we'll divide the broth up. The broth. The most important part of the whole dinner is the broth. And remember, when you serve this dish, always serve plenty of bread with it. Why? Because your guests are going to use the bread to mop up the broth. It's absolutely delicious. Another thing to do is to make sure beside each place setting there's an empty bowl. The empty bowl, I guess you figured that out, that's for the empty shells.
It's making me hungry.
So we'll just plate 4 plates and then we'll dole out the broth. Don't cheat on the broth. Now, by the way, in this dish, we're serving clams and mussels. But you can do all clams or all mussels.
Yeah.
If they're both available, it looks neater because you get the, again, different colors, different textures, which makes for the presentation. Okay, now you can see what the bread's for. The bread's for the broth. Oh, and another thing. Always serve these in warm bowls. Don't put hot food in cold bowls. Hey, that looks like it.
And just a little sprig of parsley
Sprig of parsley.
on top.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Again, attractive
How about
bowls,
that?
well presented. 95% of the thing is presentation. Okay, Hugh, yours is one of the most mussels, right?
That's correct.
You got it. Well, Hugh, the clams and mussels were absolutely fantastic. It was ooh, clams and mussels, except there was one major complaint. People were complaining that you were hogging all the mussels.
Well,
Okay, now it's time for the
I
assembly.
muscled in.
You muscled in. Member OPA, organization, preparation, and now the assembly of the main course. For the red snapper dish, we will need 4 fillets of red snapper, 2 bunches of fresh spinach, 1 or 2 lemons for lemon segments. And we'll also need 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, a cup of flour, salt and pepper to taste, 2 tablespoons of shallots, 2 tablespoons of garlic, 4 tablespoons of capers, a half a cup of white wine, and the juice of 1 lemon. But before we start, we have a little bit of preparation work to do. The red snapper dish is going to be garnished with lemon segments, and Hugh is going to show you how to do that right now. Cuts off the end of the lemon, and what he does, he just, in a circular motion, takes off the peel, leaving as little white as possible attached to the lemon. Pretty simple. Marvelous. Now he's going to take it up in his hand, and without cutting himself, he's going to take out the lemon segments from
Well,
the
you
ribs.
have to get all the white off first.
Yeah, you
right?
do. Yeah, I know.
mean,
Usually he does it, when he peels it, there's no white left.
And you go between the lines, like painting with numbers.
Exactly. Like a little coloring book.
No white.
No whites. And that's the lemon segments. And that's a lot better than putting a quarter lemon slapped on the plate. This is a lot more elegant. And you can do it ahead of time. You don't have to do it when the guests are here. You can fiddle around while you're learning. Okay, we have that done. Now what we're going to do, before we start the fish, we're going to take the spinach and place it in this pan. We have a little bit of butter here.
A little bit of butter.
We just put that on the top there. We're not going to cook it ready yet, but we're getting all ready, because this meal is all about assembly. So I'll put the cover on there. I want the potatoes in here with a little bit of butter.
Okay.
We're going to heat them up. And we're going to take the julienne medley of vegetables and place them in this pan with, again, a little bit of butter to heat up. So, I'll get the potatoes started.
A little bit of salt and pepper first.
Oh, yeah, but you got salt in the potatoes already.
Yeah, no, but we have to salt them again.
A little more? My
A
God.
little bit more, yeah.
Okay. We're cooking with gas. Actually, we're cooking with propane. Little pepper.
Pepper.
Now,
And it's like very low, right?
very low, because we want to
low.
bring them up at the end.
Now we have about
Olive oil heating up.
3 tablespoons of olive oil, some butter.
Now, we're adding butter for flavor, but if you use all butter, it'll burn. So what we're going to do is mix a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter in a combination to cook the fish in.
And you have to have a very hot pan.
So while that's heating up, Hugh is going to be dredging. Hugh, you notice there's 2 sides to that fish.
Yes.
Now, one side, we'll show you on the next piece. Look at that.
Little salt and pepper in the flour too, right?
Exactly. I was going to wonder if you forgot that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I see. Beautiful. Now, on the next fillet.
I just mix that in.
Yep. And the next fillet, look, I want to show that, if you don't mind. Well, we'll do it on the next one.
And the next one.
Okay, you see there's a good side and
is a round side.
round side
And the back side.
Now, you don't want to serve the back side facing the customer, or in your case, the guests. And we'll get to that in a minute, and we'll show you how to cook it. Now, what he does, he takes the presentation side, which is the round side, and puts that in the pan first, for 2 reasons. One, when he turns it over, the pan will have little bits and pieces in it, and you don't want that to appear on your fish. And when he turns it over, the presentation side will now be up. So when he comes to plate the fish, he doesn't have to turn it. So the right side is down now, and when he turns it, it will be up. Very important.
Right.
Now we'll turn the heat up on here. We're not going to do the spinach just yet.
Well, we'll get it started, Vern.
Okay. The spinach only takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and the fish will take about 8 altogether. And then we're going to make a little sauce for the fish, which is going to be done with the shallots, the garlic, the capers, not to mention the white wine. So we don't want to put the fish on the plate first, because we want to put the bed of spinach underneath. So we're going to take this plate and use that to store the fish on, as it were. Now, these are red snapper fillets. This dish is equally good with halibut fillets, cod fillets, or any firm white fish. You don't want to do this with salmon or tuna or something like that. Beautiful.
Yep.
Potatoes are nicely done. I'll
Give them a little shake.
I'll give them a shake. Oh, shake.
Yep.
I like that. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I've been stirring them. Now I find out it's shaking.
And the spinach is close to being done.
It's almost that we can turn the heat off.
See, if you hold the fish up and you can see that it's
Glossy, as it were.
glossy in the inside.
It's not quite done.
It's not quite done. And this is just going to take a minute.
You don't want to overcook the fish. You can always cook it some more. You can't take it from overcooked and make it right. Will that keep cooking when you take it off the pan?
For a couple of minutes, yeah.
A bit.
So it's ready now.
Okay. We put that aside. I'm going to try this shaking again. God, once you get in the theme of things, you just love it. Look at the color there. That's going to be great when it's plated. And I can't resist. I'm going to shake the potatoes again.
So, a few shallots,
Yep,
a little bit of garlic,
yep. Don't burn the garlic. We keep telling you that. Hope you're listening. The white wine.
a little bit of white wine.
You're shaking it again.
Yeah. And just cook the,
Alcohol out of it.
yeah, just like reduce it down. A little
Juice
bit
of one lemon.
juice.
Okay.
And the capers.
And the capers. These capers have been drained and washed. Be careful with capers. If you take them right out of the jar and use the juice, you're going to get way too much salt in. Okay? That's done. So we're making a bed of wilted spinach to lay the fish on. Again, this is the modern way of presentation. It's done in a tier fashion. Instead of the spinach being here and the fish there, we put the fish on top of the spinach. Perfect.
So what we do now is we add some
Chunks of butter.
knobs of butter.
And people are going to wonder how much butter is that? Looks like to me about
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons.
And you just bring that to a,
Is this what they call beurre blanc?
yes.
Beurre blanc. Now you notice we have big plates. Don't crowd food onto the plate. You want big plates. Now we don't put a lot of potatoes on the plate, just a few. We're not feeding triathletes here. Okay, and you'll want the veggies now?
Yes.
Now once again, color. We have red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers, green beans. It's all about color. Now wouldn't you be proud to serve your guests that? I know I am. Great, I think the sauce is almost ready, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now we're going to finish it off with the garnish of lemon segments and a little parsley. And it looks different. When your guests come to your house, you want your meal to look that extra 10%. And these lemon segments, I think, help this immensely. Another little trick in serving, when you're serving a dish with meat or fish or chicken or whatever, lay the plate down so the fish or meat is closest to your guest. That's a restaurant trick. Because what happens is people who come to a restaurant in order, let's say, this dish, that's what they're paying for. They're paying for the red snapper. So you want it to face them. We're ready.
There you are, Vernon.
Thank you. Beautiful. Cherry's Jubilee. You only see this in a fancy French restaurant. Well, this unctuous waiter brings up this chafing dish and flames soar to the ceiling, and you sit there gazing at your companion with passion in your eyes, and you're paying $35. Actually, Cherry's Jubilee is the simplest dessert you'll ever make. The ingredients are 2 tins of pitted Bing cherries. We drain them, we put the juice to one side. We have kirsch liqueur. That's what causes the flames. Kirsch liqueur is a cherry liqueur. If you haven't got it, use brandy. We're going to thicken the sauce with a little cornstarch mixed with water. We're going to serve it with whipped cream on the side and garnish with a sprig of mint. So first of all, we need a red hot pan with a bit of butter in it. 3 tablespoons of butter. And we're all set.
So, but you have a red hot pan, you put your cherries in.
Sizzle them. You want your cherries really hot.
You just stir your cornstarch up, just getting ready.
Use cornstarch. Don't use flour. Use cornstarch. There's a couple of tablespoons of cornstarch in there mixed with about 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. Now, if the cornstarch makes the sauce too thick, we have a backup plan. We have the cherry juice, which we saved from the tins of cherries, to add to it.
So we're going to add a little bit of kirsch.
That's a cup for everybody who knows a little bit.
A cup, well,
So, and don't worry about the alcohol because it's all going to burn off. The kirsch liqueur is used for flavor.
and you just heat that up. It's got to be a
Hot in order to set fire to it.
nice temperature.
Ah, beautiful. There it is. Okay. Now don't use a little dinky glass plate when you do this. Use a plate. So the Cherries Jubilee should occupy about, maybe a third to a half of the plate maximum. Don't overcrowd the plate with food. You lose the presentation. A little dollop of whipped cream. Excellent. Now the little sprig of mint, fresh from my garden. Beautiful. Great. Perfect. Well, Hugh, congratulations on a great dinner. Now, as the French would say, à bientôt. Till next time.
À bientôt.